modalities of the app have been very astutely explained by Mr. Arnab. Congratulations to him. Mr. Sugathan has, on the other hand, expressed his concern very vocally, and they've been, you know, prevalent in these times. Ms. Jain has explained the constitutional framework as also the international law principles governing the app. As far as I am concerned, I will limit this, my time allotted to the actual uh, legal framework within which this app operates. Now, it has been contended by, in the public discourse of this app that this operates in a legal vacuum and that there is no legal framework governing this app. In this regards, firstly, we all appreciate that personal information is a manifestation of an individual's personality, and the Supreme Court has held that the right to privacy is an integral part. However, that fundamental right is obviously subjected to and fettered with compelling reasons of state and security, public health, public interest, etc. It has been held in Kharak Singh, Gobind, R. Rajgopal, PUCL. I'm sure you're all very learned and very well aware that it has been held to be a fundamental right, and it cannot be fettered away at anybody as at anybody's wishes. Now, as far as the legal framework is concerned, there are basically, my research tells me, and my common knowledge as far as a litigation lawyer is concerned, is that there might not be a data privacy law as of now, but the framework in terms of the statutes that exist today, for example, the IT Act, the Indian Penal Code, the Copyright Act, and another one more provision is there, especially in the IT Act, Section 75, 79, 65, and 66 specifically covers breach of data and the consequences, criminal oblique penal thereof, the monetary penalties and fines that will be imposed. As far as the Indian Penal Code is concerned, Section 403 specifically deals with dishonest misappropriation or conversion of movable property for one's own use, which is applicable in this case. It calls for, by the way, criminal punishment and fine. As far as the these databases being intellectual property are concerned, the Copyright Act in Section 63B imposes criminal punishment from the forms of imprisonment as also monetary fines and penalties. Now, this is as far as the statutory framework is concerned. So, for the argument that this operates in a legal vacuum is somehow misplaced as far as I am concerned, though I could stand corrected by the learned legal minds here otherwise. But that is point number one. Point number two is the recent challenge to the framework of such apps, which are primarily contact tracing, which use technology as a medium, is, as we are all aware, it's in the news lately, the Bala Gopalakrishnan versus the state of Kerala case, properly known as the Sprinkle Deal case. Now, in that case, I believe yesterday or day before, the Kerala High Court in a marathon 4-hour hearing, pointed out and directed a couple of important directions in the app that the Kerala government through Sprinkler is using. I'll just enumerate 2-3 because they are very relevant for this app and for this debate. And number one is that the government of Kerala was directed to anonymize all data. As far as the deal is concerned, as far as the Sprinkler app is concerned, here it has already been done in terms of Arogya Setu. Number two is that there should be no disclosure to any third party entity. It is already there in the Arogya Setu. Number three is it injuncts the app makers from advertising or promoting the database that is already there implicit in this in the terms and conditions of Arogya Setu. Number four is that it cannot exploit data intentionally, indirectly, or directly. So, if one goes through the order, I believe it was yesterday's order, all the points that the Honorable High Court has directed to the Kerala government already stand incorporated in Arogya Setu app. So as far as I am concerned, and my limited understanding is that it does not fall afoul of the statutory framework as it exists in India. There are sufficient legal safeguards, and it is, I believe, the frontline weapon in the fight against coronavirus, which, by the way, is putting our democracy in peril.
Thank
There
you.
is absolutely no
Thank you.
two rounds of what I think. Comment, considering the global scenario, almost most of the countries, China, South Korea, who have been partially successful in containing this coronavirus and opening the lockdown, so to speak, have primarily relied on these apps, which are in fact more invasive. Number one. Number two is that if you follow the news, I've read recently that even Google and Apple are coming out with a contact tracing system in which they will you know empower specific apps to in fact do contact tracing through Bluetooth. Now they are saying that they will come up with that contact tracing system somewhere in May, and somewhere even later, and that too primarily for the United States, and then probably it will come to India. Here I believe Niti Aayog and the government of India must receive multiple commendations to come out with something so quickly, which will ensure that life can get back on track as soon as possible, and without in fact allowing any foreign multinational corporations to control this data. Number two is, Dr. Arnab has very categorically and very lucidly stated that and given examples of TikTok, Facebook, WhatsApp, and how they are in fact in possession of our data, and to what uses they might be putting our data to. And I believe something as critical as public health cannot be compromised with or cannot be dealt with lightly, and hence Niti Aayog and Government of India and Arogya Setu need to be commended. And in fact, I believe maximum people should download it, and that is the way forward.